When we think of wisdom, we picture scholars, great leaders, or best-selling authors. But some of the deepest truths aren't found in headlines or history books. They're spoken in soft voices, tucked inside, wrinkled hands, whispered in quiet homes or during a slow walk through the park. They come from those who have lived over 80 years on this earth, who have seen the world shift beneath their feet, who have lost and loved more than words can say. These elders don't shout their wisdom. They offer it like a gift, one we too often walk past in our noisy, distracted lives. But today we stop to listen. You're about to hear 8 powerful life lessons, each carried by someone in their 80s or 90s from different corners of the world. Margaret from Kent, Joseph from Vienna, Elise from Lyon, Walter from Vermont, and more. They'll speak about love, forgiveness, time, joy, pain, legacy. These aren't theories. They're truths carved by years of experience shaped by grief, joy, mistakes, and redemption. You don't need to be old to understand them, but you do need to be still. So pause with us. Set aside your phone. Let the wind, the trees, the silence around you become part of this moment. And listen to the quiet wisdom of those who have lived long enough to see what truly matters and to pass it on. Lesson 1. You only regret the love you didn't give. Margaret, 86, from Kent, UK. Margaret sits by her window every morning with her tea and a photo of her late husband, Harold. We argued about silly things, she says, but I never once told him how proud I was of the way he held our family together after my mother died. If I could go back, I wouldn't fix the arguments. I'd just love louder. I'd say thank you more. I'd hold his hand longer. Margaret's lesson is simple. In the end, we don't regret what went wrong. We regret the love we withheld, the praise we never gave, the hugs we thought we'd have time for. Don't wait. Call your mother. Tell your partner they're doing a good job. Hug your child before they leave the room. Because the deepest wisdom of aging is this. Time doesn't take love from us, we hold it back ourselves. Lesson 2. Let go or be pulled. Joseph, 90, from Vienna, Austria. Joseph fought hard in life against his boss, his neighbors, even his sons. I used to think fighting meant strength, he says, smiling faintly. But age teaches you that peace is the stronger thing. After a small stroke, Joseph realized he'd been carrying old grudges like stones in his pocket. You know what I've learned? He says, looking out the window. When you don't forgive, you carry 2 pains, theirs and your own. Now he writes letters to people who've hurt him, not to mail them, just to empty the weight. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's choosing your own freedom. Let go, or be pulled by the past. That's Joseph's quiet truth. Lesson 3. Slow is sacred. Elise, 82, from Lyon, France. Elise used to rush through everything. School drop-offs, grocery lines, her job in a bakery. Always in a hurry, she chuckles, and always angry about it. But one day, while walking home after a fall, she sat by a fountain and watched the pigeons for nearly an hour. It was the first time I let life move at its own pace, she says, and I realized rushing isn't living, it's avoiding. Elise now spends her days making slow lunches, writing postcards, sitting in silence with friends. She believes that after 80, slow isn't a weakness. It's sacred. It's where beauty hides. So, if you're always rushing, stop. You're probably running past the very things that give your life meaning. If you are still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment 3 below to let me know you are here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell icon, and you never miss the next videos. And also, your support inspired and motivated us to create more insightful contents. Because together, we're building a space for guidance, inspiration, and the strength to age with grace and purpose. Lesson 4. Joy comes from simple things. Walter, 88, from Vermont, USA. Walter used to own a business. A big one. Suits, flights, deals. Now he finds joy in watering the tomato plants on his porch, or hearing birds in the early morning. When you're young, you chase excitement, he says, but as you age, you realize excitement is exhausting. What you really want is peace. Walter's favorite moment is when the sun hits the leaves just right in the late afternoon. He says it feels like God is brushing his hand across the world. The wisdom here? You don't need more to be happy. You need less noise, less clutter, more noticing. Joy isn't hiding in your future. It's probably in your kitchen, or your garden, or your hands. Lesson 5. Your story matters, even if no one applauds. Ana Maria, 85, from Seville, Spain. Ana Maria raised 4 children during hard times. Her husband died young. She worked 2 jobs, sewed at night, and never once made the front page of a paper. People forget women like me, she says, without bitterness, but I know what I did. She keeps a journal now, not for fame, but so her grandchildren will know her story. You don't have to be remembered by the world, she says. You just have to be remembered with love. Your life is not small. Your sacrifices are not invisible. Tell your story, even if your voice shakes, even if no one claps. Lesson 6. You are still becoming. Bernard, 87, from Manchester, UK. At 75, Bernard took up painting. At 78, he started volunteering. At 85, he met Ruth, the love of his life. People think we stop changing after 60, but I've had more soul growth in the last 10 years than the 40 before. He says aging isn't the end. It's an unveiling, a revealing of the deeper self. You're not done, he says. You're just now beginning to bloom in new colors. No matter your age, you are still becoming. So try something new. Speak your truth. Wear colors you were afraid of. Love without armor. The final chapters can be the most meaningful. Lesson 7. Pain is not the end, it's the teacher. Marta, 89, from Krakow, Poland. Marta lost her husband in her 40s. Her son moved far away. She's had surgeries, heartbreak, and many lonely winters. But I'm still here, and I still plant flowers in spring. She says pain doesn't destroy you. It transforms you. Pain taught me patience. It taught me to stop trying to control everything. And it taught me to be kind to myself, especially. Her favorite ritual is lighting a candle in the morning, whispering thanks for what still is. The lesson? Pain isn't a punishment. It's a messenger. It breaks you open so that light can come in. When life feels too heavy, remember Marta's words. You are stronger than your worst day, and softer too. Lesson 8. The people you love become your legacy. Thomas, 91, from Edinburgh, Scotland. Thomas raised 3 daughters. He didn't build empires or write books. But when you walk into his house, there are photos everywhere. Birthdays, holidays, hugs. I wasn't perfect, he says, but I showed up. I made pancakes on Sundays. I listened, even when I didn't understand. His eyes shine when he talks about his grandchildren. They remember my stories, my bad jokes, my old record player. That's my legacy. Thomas reminds us that legacy isn't what you leave behind. It's what you leave within others, not in buildings, in memories. You don't need to change the world to live a great life. You just need to love well. Margaret reminded us to love fully while we still have the chance. Joseph taught us that forgiveness doesn't excuse, it frees. Elise helped us understand that slow is sacred. Life's beauty lives in the pauses. Walter showed us that joy doesn't come from more, but from less. Ana Maria made it clear. Even if the world forgets your name, your story still matters. Bernard told us boldly, you are not finished, you are still becoming. And then Marta, she shared something deeper. That pain, while cruel, can shape us into softer, kinder beings. That even in loss, there is light, and it is ours to find. And finally, Thomas. He taught us what legacy really means. Not in monuments or medals, but in Sunday pancakes, in bedtime stories, in showing up. Again and again, their wisdom may be quiet, but it echoes across time, because it was born in the living, not just the thinking. These are not just stories from the elderly, they are life's blueprint. A sacred reminder that meaning doesn't come from speed or status or success. It comes from how we love, how we listen, how we let go, and how we show up even when it's hard. So, the next time you pass an elderly person sitting alone, on a bench, on a porch, in a waiting room, say hello. You may be standing in front of a living library, a quiet teacher, a soul with stories that could change yours. And one day, when your hair is gray and your hands are soft, maybe someone will sit beside you and ask, "What have you learned?" May you have something beautiful to say? Thank you for joining us at the Elder Wisdom Table. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Elder Wisdom Table and click the bell icon so you never miss a tip designed to help you live well after 60. Share this video to you loved ones. Let me see what you learned from this episode in the comment, and share your story or experience someone may learn from your tip. And also, reading your valuable comment inspired and motivated us to create more insightful contents. Because together, we're building a space for guidance, inspiration, and the strength to age with grace and purpose. Get inspired, stay informed, and most of all, keep living wisely. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.